Texas is burning right now, and the heat wrapped around this state is making it worse by the hour. West of Fort Worth, a wildfire has gone from a small grass fire to a genuine emergency in less than a day. It's called the Ross Fire, and I want to walk you through everything happening on the ground, why it grew so violently fast, and what the next few days look like for the whole state. Today is Tuesday, August 25th, 2026, and this story is still moving, so let's get into it. Start with the location. This fire is burning in Palo Pinto County, roughly 60 miles west of Fort Worth, along and just south of U.S. Highway 180 near the town of Palo Pinto. If you know that part of Texas, it's cross timbers country, a patchwork of scrub oak, cedar, dry grass, and scattered timber. And after more than a month without a drop of measurable rain, every bit of that vegetation is sitting there like kindling. Here's the timeline, and it's honestly stunning how fast this moved. Monday afternoon, 1:28 p.m., a call comes in for a grass fire about 25 acres near the intersection of Highway 180 and Ross Watson Road. By 9 that night, 7 hours later, it's already at 200 acres. Overnight, it just kept climbing 2,500, then 4,000, then 7,000, and some estimates now put it past 10,000 acres. As of this morning, containment sits at just 5%. That means firefighters have barely gotten a handle on the edge of this thing. 95% of the perimeter is still open and active. Satellites have picked up at least 10 separate heat signatures across the burn zone in the last 2 days, and the smoke plume got so massive it was actually visible from orbit. That's not something you see with an ordinary brush fire. What started it, still unknown. Investigators are on it, but with a fire spreading this aggressively, every resource right now is going towards stopping it, not figuring out how it began. On the ground, 3 to 4 structures have already sustained damage, and more are considered at risk, with crews actively working to defend homes and buildings in the fire's path. There's no mandatory evacuation yet, but officials issued a strong voluntary evacuation notice for the area north of Fortune Bend Road up to Highway 16 north at FM 337. The sheriff's office is telling anyone in that zone who might need extra time, elderly residents, people with mobility issues, families with young kids, to leave now rather than wait for an official order. Longhorn Council Scouting America has closed off Worth Ranch to the public so crews can move freely. And Highway 180 near Ross Watson Road is shut down completely. If you're heading through that stretch toward DFW, you need another route today. Now let's talk about the response, because this has escalated fast on the firefighting side too. It's been declared a 5th alarm fire, the top tier of alarm response, and a TIFMAS strike team, that's the statewide mutual aid system, has been called in, pulling crews from departments across Texas. The Texas A&M Forest Service is leading the charge, running bulldozers to cut containment lines while aircraft drop retardant and scoop water directly onto the hottest sections. There's also a temporary flight restriction over the area, so no drones, no private aircraft anywhere near that airspace. But here's the brutal part. The biggest obstacle for these crews isn't just the fire itself, it's the heat they're fighting it in. A spokesperson for the Forest Service put it bluntly, working in temperatures near 108, 109 degrees while battling active flames pushes the human body toward real medical danger. So crews are rotating in and out constantly because pushing too hard in that heat isn't heroism, it's a hospital visit waiting to happen. The hope is that once the sun goes down and temperatures ease slightly, teams can make real progress on those containment lines overnight. So why did this fire explode the way it did? It comes down to 3 ingredients stacking on top of each other, and when all 3 line up, fire behavior turns extreme. First, the heat. DFW Airport shattered back-to-back records, 109 degrees Sunday, breaking the old 2023 record of 107, then 108 again Monday. An extreme heat warning is active until 9 p.m. tonight across north and central Texas. That kind of sustained heat doesn't just make people miserable, it physically bakes the last bit of moisture out of grass and dead wood, turning it into fuel that lights instantly. Second ingredient, humidity, or the lack of it. Relative humidity across the fire zone dropped to somewhere between 18 and 25% Monday afternoon. Fire weather experts consider anything under 25% critical fire danger territory, and this fire was burning right at the floor of that range. Dry air pulls moisture out of vegetation almost instantly, and dry fuel catches like paper. Third, wind. Southwest winds were running around 10 miles an hour Monday, gusting up to 26 on their own. Moderate winds like that aren't unusual, but layered on top of extreme heat and bone-dry air, even modest gusts can drive a fire line forward fast and launch embers well ahead of the main flames, which is exactly the pattern investigators saw Monday afternoon. And underneath all 3 of those factors sits the drought. The National Weather Service confirms Palo Pinto County and much of North Texas haven't seen measurable rain in over a month. On the Keach-Byram Drought Index, which runs from 0 saturated ground to 800 maximum fire danger, most of East Texas is currently reading between 600 and 800. Fine fuels like dead grass, leaf litter, and cedar bark are described as critically to extremely dry, essentially ready to ignite the moment a spark touches them. This fire didn't grow this fast by chance. Every single environmental condition lined up to turn a 25-acre grass fire into a 10,000-acre emergency in under 24 hours. Zoom out, and the Ross Fire is just the largest of several active wildfires currently burning west of I-35. But conditions right now are favorable for new fires to start almost anywhere in North Texas. Statewide, 178 of Texas's 254 counties, around 70% of the entire state, currently have outdoor burn bans in effect, stretching from counties like Gregg, Smith, Harrison, Upshur, and Marion deep into East Texas. And the Texas A&M Forest Service is drawing a direct comparison to 2015 and 2023, two seasons where hundreds of fires burned roughly 100,000 acres statewide. This year is tracking the same pattern, and Texas wildfire season typically runs through October, so we're only in the middle of it. Smoke from the Ross Fire is also affecting air quality well beyond Palo Pinto County. The EPA and Air Now are reporting moderate air quality in the Dallas-Fort Worth area as the smoke drifts downwind. For most healthy people, that's manageable, but anyone with asthma, heart conditions, or who's elderly or very young should cut back on extended time outdoors today. If you can smell smoke, take it seriously, keep windows shut, run the AC, and keep a mask nearby if you have to go outside. Looking at the forecast, there's not much relief coming. Today's extreme heat warning runs until 9 p.m. with highs of 106 to 108 and a heat index near 109. That's dangerous territory for heat exhaustion and heat stroke, so stay hydrated, dress light, check on elderly neighbors, and never, ever leave kids or pets in a parked car in this. Fire-wise, southwest winds should ease to around 5 to 10 miles an hour today, but humidity stays critically low, still under that 25% threshold. The Weather Service says the elevated fire threat continues along and north of I-20 and west of I-35W through at least tonight. Overnight offers a small window, slightly cooler temperatures, a bit more humidity, calmer winds, and crews are counting on that stretch to make real headway on containment. Wednesday looks like more of the same, hot, dry, breezy, with active fire behavior expected to continue. Further out, there's a slight chance of rain in East Texas by the weekend, according to the Shreveport office of the National Weather Service, but that's nowhere near Palo Pinto. And forecasters have been upfront that things are likely to get worse before any real relief arrives. The high-pressure ridge sitting over the state is acting like a lid on a pot, blocking storms and letting the heat build day after day. Living vegetation is now wilting and dying under the sustained heat, which means the available fuel for fires is actually increasing, not decreasing, with each passing day. Worth noting, nationally, total wildfire acreage in 2026 is actually running about 45% below the two-decade average. But that statistic means nothing if you're a rancher in Palo Pinto watching flames approach your property. Localized drought can produce a genuinely catastrophic fire, even in a year that looks mild on paper, and that's exactly what's happening in Texas right now. So if you're in Texas, here's what actually matters today. Don't burn anything outdoors if your county has a burn ban, no exceptions. Watch for spark sources you might not think about, like chains dragging from a trailer or mowing over dry grass. If you're in a rural part of Palo Pinto, Stevens, Eastland, or Erath County, keep a go bag ready with documents, meds, water, and essentials you can grab in minutes. Stay tuned to official channels, the Palo Pinto County Sheriff's Office, the Texas A&M Forest Service, and the National Weather Service in case evacuation status changes. And check in on neighbors who might not have easy access to this information, especially elderly residents or anyone without reliable transportation. To sum up where things stand, the Ross Fire is the largest wildfire currently burning in Texas, somewhere between 7,000 and over 10,000 acres, with containment still sitting at just 5%. Highway 180 near Ross Watson Road is closed. There's no mandatory evacuation, but a strong voluntary evacuation is in place for residents near the fire zone. An extreme heat warning runs until 9 tonight, with highs around 106 to 108 and dangerously low humidity. Nearly 70% of Texas counties are under burn bans. And this fire season is shaping up to resemble 2015 and 2023, two of the most damaging years on record for Texas wildfires. This is still developing, and I'll be back with updates as soon as containment numbers shift, if evacuation orders change, or if new fires break out. If this breakdown was useful, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you catch the next update as soon as it drops. And if you know anyone in Palo Pinto County, the DFW area, or anywhere in Texas right now, send this their way. It might actually matter to someone. Last thing before I go, to every firefighter and first responder out on that line in this heat, thank you. What you're doing right now is genuinely extraordinary. Stay safe, Texas. I'll be watching this one closely, and I'll see you in the next video.